So you want to move to Las Vegas, Nevada? In today's video, we're going to count down the top 5 suburbs to move to in Las Vegas, Nevada. So let's get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about moving to Las Vegas and what's going on in the market here, go ahead and hit subscribe, tap that bell for notifications, and you'll be the first in the know for everything that's going on here in Las Vegas. Hi, my name's Anthony, and every day my team and I get calls, emails, and texts from people just like you looking to make their move to Las Vegas, and we absolutely love it. Look, if you're looking to move in the next 9 to 90 days, go ahead and shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, and we would be more than happy to help you make this move as smooth as possible. So let's get right to it. Today, we're going to talk about where to live in Las Vegas. What are the best suburbs here in Las Vegas? Now, as I talk about on a lot of my other videos, Las Vegas, when you talk about Las Vegas, most people talk about it, especially if you're a tourist. You think Las Vegas is this little 3.5 mile by 1 mile wide strip, the strip of Las Vegas, but there is so much more to it. At the same time, Las Vegas is a pretty small community. We're only 28 miles from north to south and about 26 to 28 miles east to west. So it's a pretty small geographic area that we're looking at here. And in it, we house about a little more than 2 million people, and we're growing every day. It's just a fantastic place to live and one that a lot of people are moving to. So where in that area should you move? So I thought what we do today is we count down what are the top 5 areas to live at, the top 5 suburbs of Las Vegas. Now remember, Las Vegas, the city, first of all, we have the Strip, which is actually not in the city of Las Vegas. And then we have the city of Las Vegas, which is a tiny postage stamp inside of that 28 by 26 mile Las Vegas area. There's living right there in the middle, and that appeals to some people, and there's some really cool places to live there. But a lot of people, when you come and move to Vegas, you're moving to get a quality of life that's different than living in a hotel and living constantly in the action. You're looking for the suburbs. Now, our suburbs are dense suburbs, so it's not like moving to the country where you have a huge plot of land and houses are so far away from each other. Our suburbs are actually quite dense and compact, but they offer great quality of living. So let's go through it. Let's talk about where are those top 5. So our number 5 top suburb to live in Las Vegas is Spring Valley. Now, Spring Valley is right to the west of the Strip. So it's from about Decatur is the street, and it goes to about Wallapai, from Sahara to Warm Springs. So it's this little square of the area, and it's a little bit of a more mature area. It's been built up for quite some time. Now there's continued redevelopment. There's a lot of upgrades. The houses are on a little bit more square footage property-wise than a lot of other places, newer developments. Because back when they were building these areas, that was one of the more early areas to be developed, so that the lot sizes were a little bit bigger. It butts up right against some of the newest and best construction here in Las Vegas, the Summerlin area, so you have access to all that. It's also less than, if you go to the eastmost side of it, you're real close to the Strip. You're only a couple of blocks away from the Strip. So what we find is a lot of the workers in the hospitality industry, the workers who work on the Strip in that area, find that Spring Valley is a fantastic place to live. It gives you the quality of life. You get all of the amenities of the Summerlin type area. Plus you're close to work because you're only a couple blocks from the Strip. So it's a fantastic blend of the best of both worlds here in Las Vegas. A lot of available options there. The price per square foot for Spring Valley is less than it's going to be in some of the newer areas like a Summerlin or the newer Henderson areas, but you'll find fantastic opportunities there. Spring Valley, just a fantastic place to live. So let's move on to our number 4 area. And our number 4 area is North Las Vegas. Now, North Las Vegas. It's a beast unto its own. Back in the day, North Las Vegas was the redheaded stepchild of Las Vegas. It has its own city structure. So there's a couple different cities. You have Las Vegas, the city. You have North Las Vegas, the city. You have Henderson, the city. And then pretty much everything else is encompassed by Clark County. So Clark County makes up the biggest governmental entity here in the Las Vegas area. But North Las Vegas is its own government entity, its own city with its own police force, fire force, set of laws, courthouses, all of those things are in North Las Vegas. For a long time, North Las Vegas was kind of forgotten. And this goes back to the 70s and 80s primarily. But what happened is that as the population started to grow and we started developing more and more of the Las Vegas area, the developers and investors saw that, hey, there was an opportunity to revitalize North Las Vegas. So the developers and investors, along with the North Las Vegas government, they worked on a redevelopment plan. And there are now fantastic areas to live in North Las Vegas. There has been a lot of new construction. It's anchored primarily by the Aliante Casino, which is a beautiful property. It serves primarily locals, but it is a gorgeous, fantastic place to go. They have golf courses around there. You get a lot more for your money in the North Las Vegas area. As well, you're close with all the transportation with the freeway system here to get to anywhere in Las Vegas very quickly if you live in North Las Vegas. Look, and it's one of the reasons why North Las Vegas has gone from a forgotten city to now one of the top places to live in the Las Vegas area. There is so much going on there, so much revitalization. It's experienced a renaissance like no other area out here in the Las Vegas area, and fantastic place to go and look for new home. All the amenities that you could be looking for, gated properties, gated developments, really cool place to go. And in fact, we have some videos, as we do with all of these, on the North Las Vegas area, and you can see a little bit more of the area. You can see where it is, and I encourage you, go check those out, because honestly, North Las Vegas is a little bit of a hidden gem, and it's still undervalued in comparison to a lot of the other locations here in Las Vegas. And that's why it makes number 4 on our list. So let's move to number 3. Number 3 on our list is Centennial Hills in the northwest segment of Las Vegas. Now, if you go back and watch my Centennial Hills vlog and some of my other Centennial Hills videos, you'll know that Centennial Hills was one of the last places to be developed here in Las Vegas. It's only been a really up and coming since about 2005. So everything there is really new. If you're looking for new construction, new infrastructure, new stores, and you like that new feel, Centennial Hills is a fantastic place to go. Your dollar goes a little bit farther, not much, but a little bit farther than you do in some of the other areas. One of the coolest things about Centennial Hills is your access. If you like the outdoors, your access to places like Mount Charleston, to Floyd Lamb Park, to Tule Springs Fossil area, and even to Red Rock, you are super close to all of that. If outdoors is your thing and you like new, Centennial Hills is the place that you want to take a look at. It's got everything that you're looking for, and it's continuing to develop. Like I said, it's not that old. They've only been developing there for about 15 years. There is still so much new construction there, so much new availability there, that if new is your gig, then that's where you want to take a look. So let's jump to number 2. Number 2 is Henderson. Now, why is Henderson tough? Because there's multiple parts to Henderson. Now, Henderson, like North Las Vegas, it's its own city. So it's got its own police force, its own fire force. City government is all its own. It's got its own mayor, its own city council, all of those things, their regulations are a little bit different than Clark County or the city of Las Vegas. That makes it a little bit different. But what's really different is you have three really distinct areas of Henderson. You have old or traditional Henderson, which is the Water Street area, and all that area on the way from Lake Mead and Water Street all the way down into Boulder City. Fantastic area. It's seen revitalization and a renaissance also. They're doing a lot of new construction out there. In fact, one of the newest master plan communities is right over in that area. It's called Cadence. Cadence has some great builders. It is a master plan community, so there's a lot of new construction available there. But then as you keep drifting down into Henderson, you have Middle Henderson. Now, Middle Henderson was built out from about the 1990s to the early 2000s. So you got about 15 years worth of development, 15 to 20 years worth of development in this area. Again, these are fantastic properties. They're properties. It would be similar in time and architecture and amenities as to what you would see in a Spring Valley. This is what you get in the mid-Henderson area. Your dollar does go a little bit farther there. There's a lot of opportunity. There's even places where you can go and you can find a home for a little bit less per square foot and do some work to it and make it your own. The lot sizes, again, in that time, the lot sizes were a little bit bigger than we're seeing now as we try and fit more houses onto the same amount of property. So you do get a little bit more property in the mid-Henderson area. But then starting in the early 2000s, we got the new Henderson area, which is from Eastern all the way out and finishing it off. So you have your Anthem Hills, you have McDonald Ranch, you have Inspirada, which is the newest construction, and that's where all the new development in that area of Henderson is taking place right now. Beautiful construction. Amenities like you wouldn't believe. Parks. There are so many parks in Inspirada, it is nuts. It is a great place to go. In fact, Inspirada was developed to be a walking community. That's why you'll find, especially like down a street called Via Forenzi in Inspirada, there is park after park after park after park. The streets are very narrow in this area because they want people to walk. So the neighborhoods were built so that you could walk to the amenities rather than having to drive your car there, as they are in most of the other areas in Las Vegas. The housing is beautiful. It's top quality construction. It's just a fantastic place to live. All the schools are new because it's all brand new development. A lot of the infrastructure is new. In fact, over near Inspirada, that is where they are building the Henderson version of downtown Summerlin. So it's going to be a just ginormous outdoor mall and entertainment area, along with commercial and office space. It's going to be a destination so that on the east side of town, you'll have something similar to downtown Summerlin, which we have on the west side of town. It's going to have all the great retail that you could think of. Going to be a really cool place. Not too long ago, if you lived up in Anthem Highlands, which is a part of the newer Henderson, and that abuts Inspirada. So Anthem Highlands was the last development, and then now Inspirada is the next big phase of the development. So Anthem Highlands, before Inspirada was built, you had to drive quite a bit of a way to get to anything. Now with the addition of Inspirada, they are building up all the infrastructure and amenities. They're putting all the retail there. They're putting all the big box stores in that area. So, and this is also right over in this area is where you find the Raiders Training Center. So if you're a big Raiders fan, this is fantastic for you. Oh, by the way, going back to number 5, Spring Valley, Allegiant and T-Mobile. If you live in Spring Valley, that is a really close place to live if you want to go to the games all the time. So let me get back to Inspirada and Henderson. For the most part, now there are exceptions to this, but for the most part, this is that more dense construction that I was talking about a little bit earlier. So the houses are a little bit packed tighter. Most properties have room for a pool if there's not one already there, but all of the new construction, most of the properties, you do have room for a pool, but you don't have that half-acre lot where you would think, hey, it's a desert, why isn't everything a half acre? Well, there's reasons for that, but you're not going to get that in the Inspirada and New Henderson area. That being said, it is, if you go on to some of the different websites and you look at the ratings, that area of Henderson, the newer area in particular, is a more affluent area. The prices are a little bit higher and they're reflected that it's a more affluent area. You're gonna see, I don't know, about a 10% difference, 10 to 15% difference in price for comparable homes that you would see in the newer area of Henderson versus the middle area of Henderson or a Spring Valley. But if you want that new and you want that, I'm gonna call it the California vibe, the new California vibe. Think of a Mission Viejo or a new build out in the San Diego area or something like that. Not the mid-century craftsmen that you would see in the San Fernando Valley. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an Orange County type feel. You're gonna get that in the New Henderson, in the Inspirada area. If that's what you're going for, then it's a fantastic place to take a look at. So that brings us to our number one suburb here in Las Vegas. And the number one suburb here in Las Vegas is Summerlin. It's a master plan community. It takes up a huge swath of land on the westernmost area of Las Vegas. There's Summerlin and then there's Bureau of Land Management to the side of it. So there's not going to be a lot of construction out that way unless the Bureau of Land Management releases more property over time as the population continues to grow. But as of right now, there is no growth beyond where Summerlin ends. Summerlin, like I said, one of the best master plan communities. In fact, just a couple of years ago, even though Summerlin, I believe, is celebrating their 30th year of development, Summerlin just a couple of years ago became one again, the number one master plan community in the USA. So it's developed by the Howard Hughes Corporation, and that's who owns it. So this has been thought about and discussed and planned out since the 1950s, and we're still seeing it come to fruition. They don't expect it to be completely built out. There's still a lot of building going on here, so there is a lot of new construction, but you can find exactly what you're looking for. What's nice about Summerlin, everything has a rhyme and reason for being. So you don't have hodgepodge areas of development. There is a master plan for everything in the area. Your entire development is going to be somewhat homogeneous because it's developed that way. The HOAs are set that way so that when you move in there, you know what you're getting, you know what it's gonna stay, you know how it's gonna be. That increases the property values and makes it more desirable because you know you can come and put your money there, put your family there, put everything you've got going there, and know that you know you're not gonna get a pig farm. The guy's gonna come next to you, tear down the house and put a pig farm there. You know that it's gonna stay a certain way and your property values are gonna stay up. There are about 19 or 20 different villages, or we'll call them big developments here in Summerlin. And each one of them has a little bit different vibe to them, which gives each one a unique way of going. We also have the 2 TPS courses in all of Nevada in Summerlin. So if you like golf, there's tons of golfing. There is tons of parks. There is downtown Summerlin, which is our big retail area. There is the Las Vegas ballpark, which is where our minor league baseball team plays. There is the City National Arena, which is where the Vegas Knights train, and you can go and watch them train. Summerlin is amazing. You have 2 schools of thought when you're coming to Las Vegas or you live in Las Vegas. You're gonna live in one of 2 areas. You're either a Summerlin person or a Henderson person. Those are the top of the top areas that you want to live here in Las Vegas. In both areas, you can find homes in the 400s all the way up into $25 million homes. In fact, Summerlin has one of the most exclusive areas in all of Nevada. It's crazy. Some of the huge estates that are in this one particular development. We're talking everything there is $15 million and up. It's a fantastic place, but there's lots of regular communities as well. Your dollar, similar to Henderson, doesn't go as far as, say, a Spring Valley, but your dollar does go far in comparison to if you're coming from an Orange County. So your same house that you paid $800,000 for in Orange County is probably a $400,000 or $500,000 house here in Summerlin. But you get so many of the benefits that you just don't get otherwise. So Summerlin is the bee's knees. I would encourage you, if that's the type of living you're looking for, this is one of the places that I specialize a lot in. We bring a lot of Californians into Summerlin and Henderson. A lot of people from the Northwest, a lot of people from New York love it. A lot of people from Illinois love coming to those areas. But there is nothing wrong with Spring Valley. There is nothing wrong with North Las Vegas. All of those areas, they're fantastic areas to live. Look, Las Vegas is a fantastic area in general, and it just is depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a new development, if you're looking for close to different places, we can find that. Now, close is relative. Like literally, you can make it anywhere in this city. You can make it from the east side to the west side in 20-25 minutes. Our freeway systems are amazing. The traffic that you're gonna see here is probably like your Sunday. Our rush hour is equivalent to a Sunday afternoon on the 405 on the Sepulveda Pass. It just doesn't compare. So yes, we complain. Everybody complains. But that being said, you look at it versus living in LA or living in Orange County, and it just doesn't compare. There is so much going on here and just a fantastic place to live. And I would love to show you some of these different places. Let's talk, let's figure out what you're looking for, and we will find you your dream house here. We will make sure that you move here as smooth as possible. All you need to do is shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, book a Zoom call. I mean, it's really that simple. We can just get on and chop it up for a few minutes and figure out what's going on. But if not, I hope you're enjoying these videos. You're learning a lot about Las Vegas and that it's more than the Strip. There's a lot more to Vegas than the Strip, and we have a fantastic community, and we'd love to welcome you to it and make you our newest neighbor. Until the next video, thanks for watching.